You don't hire Scott Ott to DJ a rave. You don't hire Bill Whittle to teach a self-esteem seminar, and you certainly don't hire me to run your local AA chapter. So, we hired what kind of man to be president? Ugh. I'm Steve Green. This is Trifecta, and here to answer that question are two men perfectly qualified to talk politics while sitting in tiny little boxes, Bill Whittle and Scott Ott. Let's jump right in. Bill, on Friday, the Washington Post ran an opinion piece. What is Scott doing over there? By Scott Wilson, and he's a White House reporter, not just a pundit. And it was headlined, Obama, the Loner President. And Wilson asked in the story, and this is a quote, "Is it possible to be America's most popular politician and not be very good at American politics?" And that wasn't a rhetorical question. Bill, does the man with the highest office in the land kind of suck at politics?
Let me just first say that I'm still trying to figure out from the introduction whether or not I should be insulted or flattered. I'm going to have to parse that and rewind it very carefully. Yes, no, look,
like
guys, the smartest man in politics is an appellation that was given to him by himself and by other people, not based on any evidence. If you want to go to the smartest man in modern politics, that'd be Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton had an incredible brain for details, but Bill Clinton was an actual politician. Bill Clinton liked people. It's pretty clear that Barack Obama doesn't like people, certainly doesn't like the hoi polloi that he has to govern on a daily basis. His constant complaints about, oh, well, we live in this democracy and things would be so much easier if I lived in China and I could just be the Jade Emperor, which is what I really want to be. But no, I don't think he likes people. And politics is people. Policy is policy. Politics is the intersection of people and policy. And he just can't get the people side right. He doesn't like them.
I think you're right. Now, Scott, on Monday, the Washington Post felt compelled, I guess, to publish a story about their own op-ed, a story about an op-ed. The story was by Chris Aliza, and he describes Obama as, and this is a quote, "a lone wolf and proud of it." A loner in the White House, Scott, does that seem strange to you?
Yeah, anybody who's ever been in the White House knows that it's a bustling hub of activity. There are people coming and going all the time. Hundreds of people work there. You know, and to be an executive over such a massive government, you need to have some people skills. You need to have some relationship abilities. And the idea that you would just essentially, you know, at 4 o'clock check out or pull your office door shut for much of the time that you're there, it's not going to work well. You know, to be a chief executive, you need to have the ability to connect with people. And as Bill pointed out, the guy is, you know, in some ways, practically, it's almost a medical condition that he is so aloof from people.
And that's 4 p.m. and not 4 a.m., by the way.
Everybody loves him. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Bill, it gets worse. Well, it usually does. You're not shocked about this. Michael Goodwin, Monday's New York Post, he wrote that he's heard 4 times in the last 10 days that the president, well, he talks mostly and sometimes only to friend and advisor Valerie Jarrett and to David Axelrod, his political strategist. So whatever happened to that team of rivals?
Poof. It's a pretty big buzz. Reality has that effect on people. You know, the big problem with Barack Obama being untried as a politician before he became the most powerful man in the world, a lot of people think he had no experience with the economy, no experience in the private sector, no experience with foreign policy. All of that, and all of that's true. But the one thing that this man never had before assuming the presidency was he never, ever, ever had to deal with hardship or a headwind. Not once in his life, and I've studied his life, has he ever had any kind of opposition or criticism. That is a fatal and fantastically dangerous weakness in a person of that power. That guy has to have thick skin and the ability to get knocked down and get back up again, like his predecessor and all of his predecessors. And I don't think he's got it, Steve. I really don't.
What I want to know is, was that poof or pluff? That's Bill Whittle, co-founder of Declaration Entertainment and the creator of Afterburner, right here on PJTV. All right, Scott, last question. In that Michael Walsh piece, he describes the president trying to sell his jobs bill at a press conference last week. And Walsh pointed out, and this is a quote, "If he cracked a single smile at the half-hour-plus event, I missed it." Do you think Obama is going to be a happier man when he's the next president, Scott?
Absolutely. Absolutely he will, because the part he loves about it now is not actually governing or administrating, doing what he's supposed to be doing at the White House. What he loves is campaigning. He loves getting out there and listening to the adoration of the cheering fans. And when he gets out of the White House, which will be in January of 2013, he'll have an opportunity to go out there on the road, get paid a huge per-speech fee for giving public speeches. He'll be adored around the world. He'll travel to every country on earth, and he'll make a lot of money and love every minute of it. But he can't wait to get out of this one.
He's president of the world. Soon, anyway. That's Scott Ott, creator of Freedom's Charter and PJ Newsbreak, both right here on PJTV. Folks, I'll leave you with one last thought. In that Washington Post story, Slitzer wrote, one veteran Democratic campaign operative put it more bluntly when asked to address Obama's approach. He just hates politics and politicians. You know what? If the president only understood that the American public, for the most part, also hates politics and politicians, then he might just have a chance at understanding why he is so unsuited to this job and exactly why nothing he tries seems to work. For Scott Ott, Bill Whittle, and everyone here at PJTV, I'm Steve Green.